Hi, my name is Jess, and today we're going to be talking about ways to find the area of a shape using the areas of triangles and rectangles. First, we're going to start by reviewing the area of a triangle and the area of a rectangle. Next, we're going to break some shapes down into smaller shapes that we already know the area of. And last, we're going to finish with a practice problem. So let's get started. First, like I mentioned, we're going to review the area of a triangle. So we know the formula, area equals 1/2 base times height. If you look at our triangle on the side here, this is the base and this is the height. Another way you can write the equation is area equals 1/2 b times h, for those of you that are a little bit more practiced in area. An important thing to remember though is that when you want to use this formula for the area of a triangle, the height has to be perpendicular to the base. That's what this little symbol means. And this symbol here, I drew it in case you see it on math homework or anything like that. So let's refresh our memory. We're given this triangle here. We see this side is 4 inches and this side is 5 inches. Let's start by writing down what our base and height equal. So this looks like the base, as we saw up here. So 5 inches. And our height is going to be 4 inches. So if we fill in our formula, we know area equals 1/2 base times height. 1/2 our base, which is 5 inches, times our height, which is 4 inches. And we're going to get 10 inches squared. Okay, let's move on. Let's now take a minute to review the area of a rectangle. We remember that the area equals the base times the height. Similar to the triangle, the base is the bottom here, times the height. And again, you could rewrite the equation like this, A equals B times H. So let's refresh our memory. Start by writing our base and our height. So we see our base down here, that's 10 inches. And our height going up the side is 6 inches. So if area equals the base times the height, our area is going to be 10 inches times 6 inches, which is going to give us 60 inches squared. Alright. So now we're going to go practice the fun stuff. We're going to learn about compound shapes. Compound shapes are shapes that you can break down into smaller shapes, or shapes that you might already be familiar with their area. So let's look at this shape. How can we divide this very irregular shape into a shape that we're already familiar with, or more than one shape? So looking at this, I can kind of see here the start of a rectangle. So if I draw this line down, you can see really clearly a rectangle that has a base of 2 inches and a height of 5. Similarly, you can see the triangle on the side here, which has a height of 5 inches, and the base we would have to solve for, do a little bit of math. Now moving down to this one, let's look and see if we can see any triangles and rectangles. This one's pretty easy. At the top, there's a really obvious triangle. If we just break that shape off, and then it makes it kind of apparent at the bottom what other shape we have, which is a rectangle. Alright, so let's move on and try and figure out the area of shapes like these by breaking them down into smaller shapes. So let's start with this one. We can see here a rectangle, and then this is a pretty big triangle, so I'm going to break it down into a smaller triangle. Okay, so the area of the rectangle is going to be base times height, so 8 centimeters times 10 centimeters. That's going to give me 80 centimeters squared. Let's look at the triangle here. I have a base of 8, 1/2, 8 centimeters times a height of 6 centimeters. That's going to give me 4 centimeters times 6 centimeters, which is 24 centimeters squared. And our last triangle here, we have 1/2 a base of 4 times our height, which is 6. So we get 2 centimeters times 6 centimeters, and we're going to get 12 centimeters squared. So we have to get the whole area, so we need to add all 3 of these together. So that's going to be 80 centimeters plus 24 centimeters squared plus 12 centimeters squared. And that's going to give us a total area of 116 centimeters squared. Alright, so hopefully